We're with Coach Doug Lange here, for the coach of the MLC football team. First, we'd like to talk a little bit about the expectations heading into the season. What do you think?
Well, certainly we return a real nice, experienced group that's been with us for a while. Many of the starters on this particular team have been with us for 4 years now and have been starters for 4 years in very skilled positions, both offensively and defensively. So we're pretty excited about the experience level and the talent level that they bring into this season. Specifically, I think we want to line up and be well prepared each game, which with the experience level, I think that says we should be. They know what we want to accomplish. They've been around us, and they know what the competition level is and what we need to do to accomplish good things. The expectations level is just certainly go out each week and do the best you can and be the best you can. We can't control a bit what other teams are, the experience that they have, or the talent they bring. But if we do the things that we do well, and we expect this team to do that, and they have those expectations too, I think we'll see some pretty favorable scoreboards going our way too.
Let's talk about the offense. You have a lot of starters returning, but you have some new guys that are going to need to play both at receiver and along the offensive line. Can you just kind of talk about where that is?
Well, certainly in losing Ryan Colander last year, for an option-based team that's known for its run game, he set a school record last year. And just had a really great look at a number of balls thrown to him, over 900 yards, and many touchdowns. I believe he's 16th or 17th nationally in touchdowns receiving and scoring. So he's a big loss, 6'5" receiver, and he was certainly in there and doing a good job for us. We are right now looking at a lot of different people and a lot of different offensive sets to try to get that particular look going again. And right now we're looking, like I said, there's about 4 players who are in the running for that spot. And Michael Plucker is a big freshman, big 6'5" freshman who's come in, big time, big target style receiver as well. Scott Henrich has been injured the last week, another 6'4", 6'5" receiver that we have hopes for. And so we're just really looking at different things. Galen Holtceder came in as from Minnesota Valley Lutheran, is certainly a gifted athlete. Began his season at wide receiver, but since we moved him to running back, but we have a couple different ways to get him the ball through the air too.
Let's talk about the offensive line now as well.
We lost our left side of the line with Sidney Arthurton and Nate Buckner, offensive guard and tackle there. Certainly guys who for 3 straight years have been starters there and a wonderful part of that line. Looks like Eric Duve, sophomore this year, has really grown over the season. He's about 6'4", 235 pounds. Was an understudy to Sidney Arthurton last year, and I think is ready to step up and become a good player for us there. And then that left tackle is kind of a wide open position. 2 big freshmen right now kind of vying for that position, and Dylan Jensen out of Lakeside Lutheran and Lake Mills, Wisconsin, and Charlie Ungemak out of Shoreland Lutheran down near the South Milwaukee area. And both bring pretty good size for our style of offense. Both are around 235, 240 pounds. And it's a real close race right now between those two to see who will probably line up and be at those spots as well. But I think we'll be just fine. They're very talented young men there.
Let's move on to the defense. And you lose some people at linebacker, but you return 2 big bodies up front that were very important for you guys last year. How do those guys returning help build around them and with newcomers?
First of all, those 2 big men were the conference player of the year on defense last year and the lineman of the year in Chuck A. Fletcher out of Wisconsin Lutheran High School in Milwaukee. Just a tremendous ball player, plays a defensive tackle for us. And then his sidekick that helped him accomplish all those honors is the biggest player in our team, and Bill Firstenau. And Bill has just put in a tremendous offseason, has had a great camp to this point, looks better than he's ever looked. And so our expectations are just outstanding looking at those 2 men anchoring those 2 down positions for us. We did lose, for example, Luke Belke at middle linebacker last year, an all-conference performer, and just did a great job. We're trying a number of different things there, and I think we have some nice answers at that linebacker spot. Lost Steve Gergel, also out of Kettle Moraine Lutheran High School down in the Milwaukee area. All-conference linebacker for us last year. and some great looking people who are returning to us this year. We have 7 stand-up people in our defense, and they're all kind of a linebacker, strong safety type person. And we've got 3 young men back who did not play for us last year, but had in previous years, and very talented young men. We expect some of them to fill into these positions we're talking about. Probably number 1 is Benjamin Olson. Was a year in the Naval Reserves, was over in Afghanistan for a year. Comes back bigger, stronger, and faster than he was, returning for his junior season. Was an all-conference performer in the UMAC his first 2 years. And where he lines up really doesn't matter. He's just a tremendous defensive presence and mind, and it's just where we need him the most will really be the key. I expect he'll be another all-conference year for him, no matter where he lines up. Then we get Andrew Steeves, who returns to us after taking a year off and going to the University of Wisconsin lacrosse. Has put in tremendous work ethic in the weight room, comes back looking great, and will probably be one of those defensive backs. And we certainly lost Ben Reichel too, probably one of the top defensive backs we've had, and probably the top D-back in this whole league last year. Certainly a big loss for our defense, but I would think either Andrew Steeves or Benjamin Olson or Jesse Coles returns to us after a year off of school, and has just had a tremendous offseason in the weight room, and looks as good, if not better, than he's ever looked. One tough football player for us. So we have a lot of good things happening on defense, and it's just a matter of putting our 11 best athletes on the field and how to quite position them so we have them where they help us the most.
And finally, we have the UMAC this year. The conference has gone through some changes in terms of adding the 4 teams that a year ago were part of the UMAC South. How do you think those teams adding to make it one big conference changes the way that the conference schedule will play and just the conference in general?
It's tremendous for our whole league. The North and South divisions used to be a nice division when they were balanced a few years ago. We had 5 teams each, and that always culminated in the Dome Day event at the Metrodome. But that has kind of become just a regular league game now. It's still a fun day, but it doesn't have the championship implications it did at one time, where the North would play the South. And the main reason for that is there's an imbalance in numbers. 6 teams from the North and only 4 from the South, and with presentation coming in next year, it'll be 7 and 4, and that will present even another team. And so we decided to make it just one regular conference, which I think is great for the league. You got to go out each week. Each week puts a little bit of competitive pressure on, which I think is good for the team that does rise to the top and become the cream of the crop and actually wins the championship. And then as we look forward a year, the winner of our conference is likely to receive an automatic qualifying bid to the NCAA tournaments too. So I think it gives a little more structure to our conference, a little bit more legitimacy, and a little more competitive balance as we play each team throughout the league.
Coach Lange, thank you very much for your time.
You bet. Thank you.